In this video, you will learn how React Native components are categorized and how different sets of components are used to build apps. The prime purpose of this video is to tell you what the React Native components are. What are the React Native components? To explain all of this, I'm going to focus on what you need to understand to build a mobile app for the Little Lemon restaurant. So far, you've learned a great deal about React Native and you're ready to start building the Little Lemon mobile app for yourself. As you can imagine, the mobile app will have several components. You first need to understand React Native's components and their structures as they are needed to build a mobile app. In React, you use a basic building block to build the UI, namely a component. Components let you split the UI into independent reusable pieces. When you put all of these independent places of components together, you build a complete app. The same concept is true for React Native as well, since it is built using React. Let me refresh your memory with the code I added to display a welcome to React Native message on the mobile application. It is a custom component called welcome app, which renders a welcome text in the center of the mobile screen. This is one reusable independent piece of UI. These types of components are called React component. You will develop several React components while building your React Native applications. Several of these components will be reusable, such as headers, footers, menu bars, images, and so on. They all come together to make one complete mobile app. As you build mobile apps, you will work with several other components while using React Native. Now, let me tell you more about the different types of components. They're broadly called the React Native components and are classified as core components, community components, and your native components. You might be wondering what these categories mean. Let me tell you more. React Native comes with several core components that do not require any additional packages and comes with the React Native package. These core components include view, text, image, text, push. These core components include view, text, image, text, and push, scroll view, and many more. They're ready to use native components that you can use to start building your app right away. A great feature of core components is that they translate into native iOS and native Android components. This means they can adapt to work with your device native functionality without the need for specialized code. You do not need to concern yourself about how that happens. React Native takes care of the translation from JavaScript to native mobile code. You can start using them right away to build your app. You can start using them right away to build your apps. This is the whole purpose of using React Native. Ever since React Native was open sourced, it has attracted plenty of developers. The community around React Native is growing strong, and many components are created by the community for the community. These are in addition to what you get from the core components, which we call community components. The popular community components include React Navigation, React Navigate Screen, React Navigates, React Native Screens, React Native Maps, React Native Video, and many more. Since React Native relies heavily on the use of community, since React Native relies heavily on the use of community components, the original package by itself is quite lean. You can choose the community components based on the needs of your app. For example, navigation between screens is not a core component. However, React Native offers you the flexibility to choose a navigation library of your choice to add to your application. This means you can modify existing components or create your own and make them available as open source for the community. Pretty good, isn't it? Now, let me help you to explore the last type of component. In addition to the core components and the community components, you can also create your own custom native components. React Native lets you build custom iOS and Android components based on your application's unique needs. These are your native components and you own them. These are written in native code, which means working with native iOS code in Swift and Objective-C or native Android code in Java or Kotlin. They're usually built by developers who are experienced in native mobile development, but you shouldn't be intimidated about being an experienced developer. In most cases, you will not need to build native custom components since there are plenty of core components and community components available that cater to most use cases. If you want, you can make them available to open source for the community in such a way you can in return contribute to the community be available where they will be available as community components. In this video, you learn that there are core components that are built into React Native, community components that you can install and use in your React Native app, and custom native components that you can create for unique use cases. Along with these, you can create your own React components to build the complete mobile application. All of these put together make the React Native components. With all of these put together make the React Native components. With all these different types of components that can be put together to build mobile apps, you certainly have a lot of possibilities to build the functionalities you need for the Little Lemon app. Thank you.